Here I'm going to look at how to create a simple ticker tape, that is, a message that scrolls in an animated way across the web page. And I'm going to use one of the techniques that I looked at in the last lesson, that is by creating an element. Here it's going to be P, a paragraph tag, and appending it to the body of the document. And I'm just going to set then the inner HTML to display the message. So you'll find the code in tickertape.html. So here you can see P equals document.createElement, and I've specified the element as P, and here I append it to the body. Then I repeatedly execute another function called showMessage, and that appends the message S to the inner HTML of the paragraph element, and each time the function executes, a counter variable I is incremented, and when that's greater than a certain number, the variable maxnum, which in this case is 5, the inner HTML is assigned an empty string, so the ticker tape appears to start all over again. And in order to keep the showMessage function executing, I use the setTimeout method. And that executes the code specified in the first argument with a delay given by the second argument. And here the delay is 500 milliseconds. So let's see this in action. I'm just going to load it up. It's tickertape.html. And once the page is loaded, it should, yes, and there's my ticker tape, my simple animated message that just scrolls across the web page displaying Hello World. You're likely to want to have more than one message repeatedly displayed, and there's one simple way of doing that in tickertape2.html. So here I've used similar techniques to the previous example. I've created the element P, the paragraph element, and when the page is loaded, I run the run function, and that appends P to the body of the document, and then it calls showMessage, and this time this function iterates through an array. Now here's my array. I've created a messages array. Each slot of that array has a different string in it, so the function just iterates through that array, and once it comes to the end of the array, it starts all over again. So that's a very simple example of how I can modify that to show multiple messages. And bear in mind that if you wanted to be able to modify the messages shown easily, then you could of course store the strings in a separate data file using techniques we've already discussed, for example, when loading XML data. And let's have a look at this. tickertape2.html, load it up, and here you can see it's a similar sort of animation effect, but this time you get different messages that scroll one after the other across the web page. But if you think that plain unformatted text is a bit dull looking, well, you can jazz it up with a few styles. Now styles are beyond the scope of this course, but you can normally set up styles fairly easily. If you've got a web editor such as Dreamweaver, it'll do it semi-automatically. There are lots of resources also that will explain how to do CSS styling, and some of those are listed in the ebook that comes with this course. And you can also just look at examples online and copy styles that other people have set up. Well, here I've created a very simple text style. It has a font family, it has a larger font size, a specific color, and a background color. And normally if I were writing this in HTML and I wanted to apply that to a P, to a paragraph, I would put the attribute class equals and the string, the name of the file, fancy text. The equivalent in JavaScript is, if I scroll down, you can see, to use p.className and then assign the name of the style. And so let's have a look at the end results of that. That's in styled_tickertape.html, load it up, and you can see there's my jazzed up ticker tape with a style applied that gives it a different font and a different size, a different color, and in this case a lime green background color.